Thanks very much, Councillor McGrowther, and thanks everybody for coming. I'm just going to explain briefly what's happened this week. Children from Norway, Denmark, Germany and Edinburgh arrived at Carberry Towers on Friday and Saturday, and they've played together, doing various activities and then working together every day here at the assembly rooms.
And they all came together, 45 kids, with teachers, architects, artists, and the children created all this amazing stuff. They had fantastic ideas. In the middle of it, they put a children's parliament because they said there needs to be a place where adults listen to children and take them seriously. EcoCity proved to be a really popular vehicle for gaining children's views that adults took seriously because children truly understood what they were doing and how cities worked.
Your Royal Highnesses, Your Excellencies, Secretary-General, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the City of Edinburgh. Welcome to the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting.
The CHOGM event was another international event because I think we were really keen then to think about children's lives here in Scotland, but to think about the UN Convention as a global convention. And so again, we brought children from different Commonwealth countries to work together in our usual way, creatively, with artist facilitators, drama workers, and they pulled together a document that for them captured the rights that children should have.
We believe that the children should be listened to and their views should be respected. We present our Bill of Rights to you and to other children of the Commonwealth.
We've always been really committed since the beginning to involve children who might not normally have opportunities to participate in exciting new projects. And so we make sure that there's a protective mix in the groups as much as we can. So there are children who are really able and there are children who struggle sometimes. And we want to make sure that all children have the potential to demonstrate that if they're given an opportunity and if the relationships are good between the children and between the children and adults, then children will live up to expectations.
But that's the adult's responsibility, and I think we've never lost the passion for that.
Yeah.
Still get frustrated and still get annoyed. It's just not right sometimes. So.
And we're both going to start agreeing now.
Not fed up with that argument yet.
No. Because we see it, we've seen it every day in our practice making a difference. We started out with a belief that we need to demonstrate that this works, so we always sought funding to run projects to work directly with children because we believed that, you know, if people see how effective this is, then they'll start doing it themselves.
Let me just start by thanking the Children's Parliament members.
The most important part of the first panel is the baby.
Encourager les gens à recycler, investir dans d'autres types de transports, des transports écologiques.
And whilst there was some success locally, actually, strategically, we didn't really make a lot of progress. So we carried on doing lots of great work.
This part of Glasgow has poorer health, lower life expectancy and higher unemployment than other parts of Scotland. But the idea here is to tackle the problems at their root and get children involved in community planning.
Children from schools across the east end of Glasgow painted this mural to show what they think is good, but also what they don't like.
Take a bunch of challenging kids from the east end of Glasgow and a papier-mâché artist from Cuba. The Realising Ambition project is funded by the Big Lottery. It's part of a series of programmes run by the Children's Parliament, targeting young people from marginalised backgrounds and trying to help them fulfil their potential.
Children could feel the benefits themselves, parents could see the benefits, but actually in terms of making strategic difference, we weren't successful. So we decided that we wanted to work more strategically, and actually in Aberdeen it's worked really well because of individuals. The Director of Education and her team have really understood what this is about and have really supported us, and that's made a really big difference.
We have been through all your work, and this week these are the clear messages that you have told us need to go on your mural. Yeah, the work in Aberdeen I think has really shown how we can, with the right partner, make an impact strategically. And then what happens around that is that the energy from the children and the insight that they bring creates a dialogue with people who might not otherwise have really spent time with children, speaking about issues, trying to learn from them so that they can inform and improve their kind of strategic approach.
Children in East Lothian have been invited to speak at the United Nations in Geneva after completing a project which saw them create a huge mural of their town. Pupils from 5 local primaries were involved, illustrating their views and experiences of the local community in Tranent. They'll travel to Switzerland in October to share their findings at the UN's Day of General Discussion.
In Tranent, it was due to the local community planning partnership manager.
Your job now is when you see me or somebody for the council, everything you've got this far end, this is what you should be telling us. When are you going to do this?
Never losing that direct engagement with children has kept it really fresh. It's been the most enjoyable and still is the most enjoyable professional things that I've ever done.
We're looking forward to meeting the ministers because it's going to be a great experience, and I believe that we're the youngest people to come here and be in the cabinet meeting.
Looking back on the last 21 years or so, it's really interesting that we started with this big international idea, and then we had the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, and here we are all these years later, and we've got children meeting with the cabinet in Scotland, and we've got children at the UN committee in Geneva. And so it's like we've had this big sweep across the years where we wanted to have this international perspective, and now we have a truly national and international perspective again.
21 years ago, somebody said to us, what you're really trying to do is to create a new social movement in Scotland. And 6 months ago, a funder said, but what you're trying to do is change the world for children. And yes, we are trying to do that. That's what we all need to be doing. We have to change the world for children if we're serious about making Scotland the best country to grow up in.
So how, in terms of a working relationship, how has it developed? I mean, how is it?
Well, Colin's always right.
I will leave it at that.